What is that sound? It's like a TV game show. Any guesses? You can see it up here. Up here. And I'm not giving away the mode that's going on. Let's see, what can I give some tips here? It's a sound you probably heard in the 80s. It's at 11.088 megahertz, so you need an HF radio to hear this one. It's right at 1500. You can see the spread there on the display. What is that? What else can I give away? It's very nautical in nature. It's not an amateur radio transmission because I just gave you the frequency, which means it's probably government. Alright, so what is it then? I'm not sure you guys are all yelling at your phones or your TVs. You all know what it is. Let me turn it down a little bit. Let me turn it down a lot. Alright, so this is what you've been hearing here. This weather image. I don't know a lot about these. I know virtually nothing about weather. I'm going to turn this down even more. But this is a station in 11.090 megahertz, so that would put it in Honolulu. So this is a Honolulu weather fax. This is a weather fax. And the software we're using to decode it is called FL Digi. And there's a variety of stations out there at different locations. I think from the Americas perspective, there's one at Point Reese here in California. There's another one in Alaska, another one in Hawaii. They are all over the world. In fact, if you search for, what did I search for here? Weather fax frequencies. And there's PDF should show up at some point. And you can scroll through here. We got stations in Africa. You can get those, Asia. But the ones, I'm here in North America, there's South America. In North America, there's some stations here. This one is Halifax, Nova Scotia. You can see there's some frequencies here. I don't know if I can zoom this in anymore. Yeah, I can. I can make these a lot bigger. And they're all over the spectrum. They're all in HF spectrum, right? But you get to choose a few. So there's one in Canada. I think that's way up there. We've got Nova Scotia. The ones I've been interested in have been the Kodiak, Alaska stations. 8.459 has been a good one. And what else we got? Point Reese is almost actually too close to me for me to get propagation. Their antennas are sufficiently high that there's no nearly vertical incidence there. And then New Orleans, mixed results with that one. Boston. Somewhere there's a Hawaii one, Pacific Ocean. No, we don't want Australia. They're everywhere. Honolulu. This is the one that seems to work well for me. In fact, that's the one you were listening to. You'll notice the frequency is 11090. That's the one I've been tuning into. That's really close to 30 meters. So if you get a 30 meter antenna, you're going to get that one pretty close. You also, there's an offset for these. So when the listed frequency is 11090, you need to go down to 1.9 kilohertz. Ultimately, just tune around until you see there's two frequencies on here. Let me get this up here. I'll say the left and the right one. I guess it's the mark in the space. And you just make sure that the left one's right around 1500 kilohertz offset. And then you'll be good. So basically make FL Digi look like this. Also in operating mode in FL Digi, you want to come down to WeFax and select the WeFax IOC 576 decoder. And the reason we're doing that is because that's what all of these broadcasts are. You'll see the IOC mode is 125.76 for virtually all of these transmissions. And if you look here in UTC, you can see all of the different forecasts. There's actually one that's an image. There's a satellite image. And in fact, I might have just missed that. I can never do the GMT math. So there's an actual image that you can get in the fax. Now, these take probably 5-10 minutes to download. This is using facsimile technology. And it really depends on the propagation you're getting. So a new signal just started. You can see up here it's just starting to decode. This one's a little fuzzy. And it's hard to say what it is just yet. We'll come back to it. But If you're using FLDigi on a Raspberry Pi, you can go to /home, wherever your home directory is, .fldigi/images. And you get a bunch of images that look like these guys. That one's extremely poor. No idea on this one. Pacific Streamline Analysis. I imagine some of you sailors out there will know exactly what that means. Pacific Surface Analysis. No idea. That's just garbage. Oh, I see Hawaii right in the middle there. Kind of sideways. That's a cyclone something. Pure garbage. Some of these were taken like, weird off hours. I just let it run for a while just to see what it would decode. This one was a half decode. One of the side looks pretty good. Hey, that was a perfect decode, but there's really no information there. So there's no cyclone activity in the Pacific here on this day. This is actually July 10th. And that was another. Hawaii really focuses on the tropics of the Pacific. Alaska is going to be more of the Aleutian Islands. In fact, here's a good example of Alaska. We see the Aleutian Islands in Alaska up at the top here, in California way over on the right. And I don't know, what is this guy? Surface forecast, 48-hour surface forecast. Kind of cool. I'm just flipping through these guys. Oh, this was the visual one. Unfortunately, it wasn't coming in very well, but you can actually see what the visible satellite looked like. There's California over here, kind of on the right, and then it comes up through Alaska and the Aleutian Islands over to Asia Pacific, with Hawaii kind of in the center of this map. But yeah, this one didn't come in very well, unfortunately. So just let these run for like a day or so and see what you get. I mean, you'll get all kinds of cool stuff. And try different stations too. Propagation's propagation, whether it's amateur frequencies or not. These are government oriented. But this is just called Weather Facts. Weather Facts I think is what this is really just called. And just let it run for a while and see what comes in. If you're a weather person, you probably know what all of this means. Ooh, there's another visual one. It's a bummer that didn't come in very well. But I'm just using my amateur radio fan dipole in the backyard. And these are rolling in. Hey, that one's okay. That one turned out pretty good. And so, if something comes in well at night, let's say it's on 40 meters or whatever, tune into that one. And then during the day, tune into something that's close to 20 meters. You're not going to get real close. I'm just shouting out some frequencies here. So 12.786 is one that came in good for Point Reese. 11 megahertz is what we were watching just now, and that's in Hawaii. And Kodiak has one at 8.459. That's close to 40 meters, so you're probably going to be resident there. And there's another one at 12.412. If you got a 20 meter dipole, you might collect that one okay. So anyways, that is it. And the signal's still coming in. You can still hear it here. That's what it sounds like. So what you're hearing is what is being painted on the display right now. I still can't tell what it is. And you can really get an idea how slow these are. Right? Facsimile technology is pretty slow. Purely analog stuff. It goes all the way back to the 1980s. So anyways, thank you for playing another edition of Guess That Signal, Guess That Modulation Type. This is called WeFax, at least as far as FLDigi is concerned. Get FLDigi. I got version 4.1.14 here. Sometimes it locks up. I don't know. I got the latest version of FLDigi. It's been working pretty stable lately. And you can get weather reports for your area, mostly nautical-oriented reports. So WeFax using FLDigi. And this is KM6LYW Radio. Thanks for watching. Of course, like and subscribe if you can. It's not that hard, right? Also, there's a Patreon page if you'd like seeing these weekly videos. If you like getting access to early release software from KM6LYW Radio, which is developed right here in this room, and of course with a small army of other people that contribute to this code and testing. Now go ahead and contribute to patreon.com/KM6LYW. Again, patreon.com/KM6LYW. It pays for a lot of the stuff we're using, like these fancy microphones and a little mixer board that I got. Thank you guys for that. You guys are awesome. My patrons, I really appreciate it. And that's it. This is Weather Facts. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I don't know if you can post pictures or not. Maybe mail your pictures. Let me know what you get. Maybe you can get cleaner ones than I can. I hope you do. KM6LYW Radio, and I'm clear. Thanks, guys.